And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your local area consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions and making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'd love to help you win. Save our hotline number. We'd love to connect with you online or offline. You can follow us online also at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show page, as well as our YouTube channel. Brandon Rhymes Realty is the YouTube channel. We're very close to getting monetized, so if you could please do us a huge favor. It would mean the world to us if you go to our YouTube channel and you subscribe and follow us. That greatly helps our chances of monetization and all that good stuff. So we really appreciate that. 813-750-0550. That's our hotline. You can call or text the hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text, as well as hit the website consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we vetted, and we bring them on the show, and they really bring some great content to our program and our listeners out there. So we got a great lineup for you today. Brian Gordon as well, Tactical Society in the house. He's going to talk about self-defense, and he has lots of options for you when it comes to your tactical supplies. We've got Dan Manikheim also on the program, a plethora of knowledge in the world of Prohealth Pest Control on the show, as well as Dr. Harold Shinitzky on the program, sports psychologist. So we're going to talk with him about some of the different things happening in those areas, how to deal with anxiety as well as behavioral issues as well on the program. So great lineup for you. Before we jump into this, I want to touch on some of our sponsors here. We got Chad Irrigation, Victor and his team with Chad Irrigation. They do such a great job for all of our listeners out there, our real estate clients. Chad Irrigation, Victor is our contact there. Reach out, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for all of your irrigation needs. We'd love to connect you with him as well. And we got a couple of hot listings. We like to feature our real estate property listings on the program to help you maximize the exposure and the profits on the sale of your real estate properties. We've got a property at 3613 Cabana Court in Palm Harbor. This is a great opportunity to own real estate. It's a great either a first-time buyer opportunity or maybe even a rental property. Lots of natural lighting coming into this property, carpet in the living rooms and the bedrooms, and you've got tile in the wet areas, screened-in backyard, potential for rental property, close proximity to top-notch schools, great shopping, grocery stores, and hospitals. Check out 3613 Cabana Court in Palm Harbor. Great real estate opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Now, we've got a lot of vacant land listings as well, about 15 vacant land listings with our team. We've got about 45 to 50 listings overall, but 6513 County Line Road is a 5-acre parcel of land out in East Hillsborough County. It's a great opportunity to own real estate and build your own dream home at 6513 County Line Road out in Plant City. Buildable 5-acre lot, 1 to 2 large buildings. You could also build, and it's zoned for 2 homes or another large building, but it backs up to English Creek Preserve, so it's a great opportunity. We've got up to 84 acres and other lots available down in Palm Harbor area, Dunedin, Valrico, Seffner area, Land O'Lakes, just listed a property on County Line Road. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy.
All right. So that'll lead us into Dr. Harold Shinitzky here, sports psychologist coming in. So you're dealing with sports, but you're also, in that area of, sports psychology. You're dealing with people. I deal with some interesting clients, we'll say, a little bit different from Billy Currington, how he says it. But, people, and sometimes they can get into positions where they have their anxiety levels raised. And, of course, now with what our politicians and whoever, business leaders, you want to call it, the corporate class, we've got this extra pandemic causing so much stress on people. I mean, I can't believe some of the situations I've seen and been in. But welcome to the show, Dr. Harold Shinitzky. Welcome back.
A pleasure to be with you. And yes, there are a lot of stressors going on in society nowadays.
Absolutely. I see it from everything from people not wanting to show their properties until they get a fully executed contract. When normally, if you know anything about real estate, normally you show the property. If they like it, then they put a contract in. So people are stressed out. They're nervous. They're seeing these things on the news. And of course, I wish they would defund the media. I see those things about defunding police, defunding this. But how about defunding the media? Because it's really hurting people in a lot of ways, especially I feel so bad for seniors. They don't really have the opportunities to fact check or get both sides of a story. But just real quick, before we get into this, folks that have not heard you on the show before, you're president of Florida Psychological Association. Congratulations on that. And you're author, A Champion's Mindset, 15 Steps to Becoming a Champion Athlete as well. So you're a published author as well. So tell us a little bit about some other strategies for dealing with anxiety caused by expectation, increased scrutiny from social media, publicity, et cetera.
Well, you bring up a delightfully positive reality for many individuals that they get their information from a news source. And our media, unfortunately, has become kind of fragmented. And so you bring up a very good point of how do you gather a range of information to be able to fact check, to be able to get difference of opinions. Nowadays, we find that there's an extremism in terms of information that is disseminated, and it speaks to usually the audience, and it's a money-making venture for all media outlets. So I find I try to do my best to gather information from a range of information, and then to disseminate it and share it in that same manner. So to speak about what's going on lately, COVID and its kind of consequences that we have seen, how it's affected economies and the ability to just travel and be amongst each other for support. Anyone that I work with, if they have anxiety, depression, whatever the symptoms are, have exacerbated during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And when you become more stressed, individuals, unfortunately, there's a natural release of certain chemicals in the body that cause us to kind of get into the fight or flight reaction. When that occurs, we start narrowing our ability to see options. And so people become a little bit more rigid and flexible. People become more reactive. And you may even know, like amongst loved ones, where people can get a little bit rude or sarcastic, glib or flippant. And I'm encouraging the people that I work with, since you only control yourself, understanding that, lead with compassion. So when interacting with others, there's a lot of stress. People may react poorly. Don't mirror them in the first place.
Right.
Realize that you're ultimately in control of your own behavior and lead with compassion regardless of what the other person says or does.
Let me add something there too, because it reminds me of my negotiation coursework I've taken, and I also teach negotiation. But one of the things that you could use in that situation is what FBI hostage negotiator Chris Voss called a label. So when you label someone's either words or their actions or behavior, what it does, it kind of validates the counterpart's emotions by verbally acknowledging it. And it's something as simple as saying it seems like, it sounds like, or it looks like. Have you seen those labels used in your day-to-day?
Oh, you bring up a wonderful negotiating tool when it comes to interpersonal conflict. You do want to speak the other person's language. So if someone is frustrated with whatever belief system that they do have, and they express it in a way that is kind of maybe hostile, aggressive, whatever it might be, observing it, actually provide it as an observation. And then if you could paraphrase back what I hear you saying, at least let the other person know that you're listening, taking it in, processing. You're then able to offer up additional information. But if you start with just an attack, the person gets defensive. So in today's society, whether you're left, right, if you're in agreement of something or disagreement, we have to be careful, because as a society, there's this tendency of being tribal. And there's an old adage that says, a party divided is a party lost. Yep. And if we look at the United States as an entity, as a wonderful experiment that has been bringing people together, a concern is when we become fragmented, we ourselves make the others the enemy, and that is not healthy for the union of our kind of existence. So since I believe most people actually have more in common than different, I think most people actually want to get along and be productive. There are people who have loud platforms and they speak in extremism, and they get people to then just buy into the extreme, where I think that for the most part, we have the capability of having more common ground. We see things in terms of differences, sure, and we have different ways of addressing it, but there's probably more similar than different.
Yeah, exactly. And they used to say, well, we all want the same thing. We just have different ways of getting to it. I think that was true back in the 90s and 80s, but not so much now. I mean, there's so many different, especially with the far left, or the far right. There's so many differences there. But I'm going to jump off that because I could go down a bunny trail on that one. But if you just joined us, we're talking with Dr. Harold Shinitzky, sports psychologist on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And the point I was making, too, is when you label someone's emotions or their reaction, there's a chemical reaction in the brain that actually happens, and it switches from their reptilian portion of the brain, I think it's the amygdala, over to the other side that's more rational, because in their mind, there's like a shift that happens. They're thinking they have to take in that information and say, oh, wow, yeah, I see what he's saying or what she's saying.
Well, I give you a lot of credit for your listeners. We're going to get down a rabbit hole of neuroscience right now. If someone is talking about something that they're very emotional about, that is the amygdala, that is the limbic region, that is the feeling, or as you said, the reptilian section of the brain. If you don't reach that first, the other person becomes more emotionally rigid. So if someone comes at me with a very emotional feeling, opinion, belief, and I come at it in a very logical debate discussion,
we're
literally speaking cross purposes. The person can't hear me. They actually become more emotionally defensive in their belief system. So you do need to cross the bridge. I always talk about it, build a bridge and then dig for depth. So you have to be able to relate on commonalities. The old adage is, seek to understand, and only then shall you be understood.
Yes, absolutely. I like that. Let's take a quick break there. Dr. Harold Shinitzky on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. Also, to just kind of name some names with Simone Biles, what happened with her in the Olympics, and also touch on a little maybe college pro football season, some of those things happening here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, we have our feel-good story of the day, which is kind of cool. It actually hits kind of close to home with me as well, and one of our expert contributors, Captain Will Smith. But Clearwater Marine Aquarium celebrates 10-year anniversary of Dolphin Tale. So Dolphin Tale movie that made Winter the Dolphin famous is now turning 10, and which is pretty cool is we're actually working with the producer of that movie on our new movie as well, Falling from the Sky, David Yates. So we'll be right back. Some pretty cool stuff to cover here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We always feature our real estate listings live on air on the show to help our sellers profit more and sell faster and just get more exposure for our real estate listings. 117 14th Street in Bel Air. This is a beautiful property. It's a double lot with a pool, private pool. Corner lot, cul-de-sac location rather, 117 14th Street in Bel Air. You got a gourmet kitchen, jetted bathtub, temperature-controlled wine closet, minutes from the beach, Bel Air Beaches, private pool, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,800 square feet. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay. Also, we got a property at 10222 Meadow Crossing Drive in Tampa. It's up in the new Tampa area part of town, and this is a property that's a large corner lot. You got solar, you got a new roof, security systems. Great opportunity to own real estate here in that new Tampa area. 40 solar panels on the roof, smart home technology and thermostat, security cameras as well. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
And we'll give a quick shout out to Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter with Veteran Gutters. Give him a call, let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. American-made product, and he is a veteran himself. Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter. First-hand experience from Brandon and his team. They're a first-class organization, I tell you. They truly are. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Save our hotline number if you don't have it, 813-750-0550. We can put you in touch with Dr. Harold Shinitzky as well, sports psychologist, if you'd like to check with him, or maybe get a copy of his book, A Champion's Mindset, 15 Steps to Becoming a Champion Athlete, right here in Tampa Bay. So I like this on this topic here. It seems like there's increasing incidents of behavior issues with fans interacting with athletes. Psychology of dealing with the hero worship. That's an interesting thing. It's like we idolize these politicians, we idolize certain athletes, and there can be some dangers associated with that.
Unfortunately, the reality is a lot of fans, and I point this out that the term fan is actually short for fanatic.
Right.
There's a strong belief and identification. So this individual somehow represents me, my value, my worth. Right. So we do tend to idealize, which is really unfortunate for many reasons. It's not truly who that person is. They're human. And it also puts us into a position where we may overstretch our boundaries. And so you hear lots of fans who are kind of becoming rather brazen and aggressive online. We have the anonymity of the internet, and so people not only speak things, but also their kind of group they associate with online oftentimes reinforce it.
Yep.
So it seems like, oh, okay, we're all singing the same thing. Well, actually, your group, birds of a feather flock together. And so individuals, I hate to say it this way, but it kind of feeds the narcissism of our species.
It does.
So people are becoming more brazen and willing to cross boundaries. And that's where you see it where they're engaging, unfortunately, with a lot of athletes, which can be very dangerous.
Yeah, I like how you broke that down. Fanatics, idolizing. It's really ridiculous to see how some people just go way overboard with their team. You think about it from a perspective of even like sports teams or, oh, the big game's on, don't mess with me. And, I get into this, what do you call it? Fantasy football. You're putting so much time, effort, and energy into those types of things. Where as if most people would put more time, effort, and energy to what really mattered in life, then they'd be living a much better life. They would have much more secure retirement. They would have much better relationships in their life. But yeah, so the fanatic side is pretty crazy. And you also touched on another major point. And to me, this is probably the number one problem that we have in our society or even the world. Would be the keyboard warriors, people that are so tough texting and tweeting and calling people names, and it's really gotten to politics now, and people are so divided and so polarized, and then they get on the computer and they say things with their hands and their computer, they're typing, then they would never say in somebody's face because they know they get punched right in the mouth.
There's a couple of things on that that's really powerful that you're saying. First off, if I can just say that if you are being extremist, you're actually part of the problem.
Right.
Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. If you're an extremist, you're contributing to fueling the fires, and that's just dangerous.
Yep.
What, as you're pointing out also, individuals by themselves, if you were to interact with them, you would find that, most of them have good morals and values and ethics. But there is this reality called group think.
Yes.
And when you're a member of this kind of whatever, this microcosm that people can be, everyone in their group speaks the same language, and so it seems that's a reflection of the total world. And so when groups think, we oftentimes see people who have good morals, values, etc., suddenly become part of this entity, and they give up almost their independence to do things which are rather inappropriate. And again, that's left or right. We've seen that over the last year. And so I'm trying, I know as a media psychologist, to help individuals understand that I'm sure you learned the difference between right and wrong at a very young age, and that you have to be careful that the group that you associate with sometimes can influence you to make decisions which may not always be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think about, what was your reaction to Simone Biles? We kind of teased that before the break.
Yeah. I give her actually a lot of credit, and like you were saying, the keyboard warriors were, many people were eviscerating her, and a lot of people were supporting her. We as a society, like we said, we have idealized our athletes, and so even physical injury, we used to just talk about how, rub a little dirt on it, get back out there. But we now know, let's say like with a concussion, when you get your bell rung, we used to just get back in the football game, but now we understand second impact syndrome and how that can be fatal. And we understand if you have a lingering injury, you may do something that looks heroic, but you could also end your career. So we're now considerate of a physical injury. Right. We're now, I think, as a society where we're becoming a little bit more aware that mental health, even though it might be invisible to see, plays a significant role in people's existence. So, like we had Kevin Love in the NBA, Brandon Marshall in the NFL, Michael Phelps, the best swimmer ever, Simone Biles, the world's greatest gymnast, actually reporting, no, we're human. Just because we're an elite athlete doesn't make us immune from mental health conditions. And I think that is swimming upstream, from decades and years and centuries of, no, you're gladiators. Yeah. And to actually hear individuals say, no, I've got this and I'm struggling with it and I need to deal with it. Yeah. For Simone, she had something that's referred to as the twisties. And so there was a loss of kind of the understanding of her body in motion, which then becomes dangerous when you're flipping twice, spinning twice, and landing. Yeah. The rest of us think, well, get back out there. Yeah. Well, I challenge most of your listeners to just jump in the air, do 2 full circles, and land in the same direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It is interesting how judgmental people can get when they absolutely have no understanding of what's going on. And so we need to, again, this idea of compassion. If we can lead with that, just because you personally haven't experienced something doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and the gender dysphoria is another one that really gets me. Like with Caitlyn Jenner, and then now running for governor. It's like, no, you have stuff going on that in my mind would disqualify you from running for public office. Just gender dysphoria, getting changed, and then in our country we have the director of human health and services is whatever. So that's a whole nother thing. That's an actual problem that people have. Not saying bad person, etc., but don't put them in charge of our health and human services. That's my take on that.
I think individuals' accountability and responsibility in life is vital for whatever position we hold. And so we want to make sure that people are competent, that they're educated in whatever they are running for, whether someone is a leader of a team or whatever position we hold. I mean, I would want each person to be as competent, as astute, as knowledgeable in the area. And everyone should be everyone, whether you're talking about gender dysphoria or someone who is, the same identity that they had when they were born. You want to make sure that they're accountable and responsible in whatever position they're in.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us, Dr. Shinitzky. Appreciate it. Dr. Harold Shinitzky, sports psychologist, president, Florida Psychological Association, author of Champions Mindset, 15 Steps to Becoming a Champion Athlete. Thanks for joining us.
As always.
See you next time. All right, coming up, Dan Manicai and Prohealth Pest Control on the Consumer Quarterback Show, plus our feel-good story of the day. Clearwater Marine Aquarium celebrates 10-year anniversary of Dolphin Tail. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
I got Dan right here.
Just burning the disc.
Hey, Dan, how are you, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, sir. What's new on your end, my friend?
Second one. I don't think I've seen the second one.
Hot weather and rain.
Hot weather and rain. Good combination for some home inspections, huh?
Oh, it is.
David's a pretty brilliant guy.
Hot weather and rain. That's right.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about some insulation we do.
Some insulation?
Aquarium.
Yep.
Okay.
Iron Man. The Iron Man.
Cool. I like that.
He was their CEO.
I like that.
And basically saved them from bankruptcy.
Good deal. I got one of those properties that you inspected for me under contract. It worked out pretty well. I ended up getting both sides of it.
They were about to go bankrupt.
Sweet.
Yeah. How'd you guys do like a 4-point for us?
Cool.
When I was in the listing appointment, I always like to try to offer that. What up, Brian? Good to see you, buddy. All right, cool. So any other talking points, Dan?
No, I mean, whatever comes up is fine.
Yeah. We're just kind of pitch and catch like we do.
Sure.
But one of them, you said you want to talk about different types of insulation?
Yeah, some insulation products, yep.
Cool. I think that's a good one.
Brandon, can you hear me?
All right.
Brandon?
Yes, sir.
I need a mic check from Brian, please.
Brian, can we get a mic check from you, bro?
Yes. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
He
Might want to
sounds far
slide
away.
Up to it, yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, just like that. Thank you.
All right, cool deal. Let's get going.
All right, everyone, please stand by.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate you hanging out with us, spending some time on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Great lineup for you on the second half of our program as well. Coming up, we got Brian Gordon, Tactical Society. And first, we got Dan Minikheim as well, Prohealth Pest Control. Before we jump into that, I want to thank one of our sponsors, Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's not a cookie-cutter hotel. You know, a lot of the chain hotels are the same, but this is a very unique hotel property. 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, and it's a great opportunity to get out and have a local staycation or an out-of-state vacation. Check them out at BilmarBeachResort.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. They've got multiple pools, lots of entertaining every night. They've got live music, and they've got 2 restaurants on site as well. Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant. I love visiting the Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island, Florida. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we got a hot property listing for this segment. This is a property that we've got here in Largo, 11724 132nd Avenue in Largo. This is a really cool builder-developer play. Now, you could rent out the 2 properties that are on site with the properties being at 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So you got rental income built in. Over an acre of land in Pinellas County. That's an income opportunity. Perfect for builders, developers, entrepreneurs, and it's close to the Clearwater Beach area as well. Great opportunities at our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Dan Manikheim, Prohealth Pest Control. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
I'm here.
Hot weather and rain out there. Boy, I tell you, we're out there in it. This is our summertime hit. And inspections, you're helping folks with inspections and termite and pest control as well.
Yeah. Things are going well. Market's still hot, as you well know, you being in real estate with me. A lot of bugs out there, and things are going really well.
And one of the topics for today I wanted to talk about was insulation in homes. Tell me a little bit about some of your take and what you're seeing.
Yeah, let's I happen to know where you live. You happen to know where I live. Your home's newer, really well insulated. And my home's not older. My home was built in the mid-'90s. Not too bad. But with the really, really hot weather that we get nowadays that are, in the mid-'90s and stuff like that, I really don't think when my house was built, it was. It's hard for my home to keep up with the air conditioning, to keep up on a bright, sunny day. Today, right. It's probably going to be fine because it's overcast. And what people need to do, even on a home built in the 90s or up into the 2000s or earlier, is to add more insulation. And whether it's there's spray, you can do a spray foam product. There's a lot of different options out there. One of the options that we like to use, I definitely didn't create this, but it's a product that's out there. It's called TAP Insulation. It's I didn't come up with the name either, by the way. It's a thermal. It stands for Thermo Acoustical Pest Control, and there's a pest control product that gets mixed within the blown-in insulation, and it actually, as a preventative. This isn't something, if you had like a roach problem or an ant problem, you would blow insulation to take care of the problem, or even a termite problem. But if you actually use this product, it has it'll actually deter things like ants, roaches, and even termites.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. So they built it in now. That's relatively new. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. Well, it's been out for a little while. It's getting more and more popular. Energy bills are rising up, and it's so funny. It's just, I don't know what it is, but. We'll go through our termite cycles and everything like that, but then it takes a little while for people in the summertime to notice that their energy bills are going up, $100, $200 a month, and now it gets really popular. That's a real popular thing that we're doing a lot currently in this month, is taking care of the bugs and the termites, of course, and installing insulation with the pest control product in it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to get those checkups as well. Dan Manikheim here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Prohealth Pest Control, longtime friend of the program. Dan, tell us a little bit about some of the quarterly treatment packages. I think it was something like your gold plan that you have, or one of your packages.
Yeah, one of our packages is it's all pests you can think of. It's more like what pests aren't we controlling? And basically, it's not a mosquito program, and it's separate from termite. Termites fly into the wood or they crawl underneath on the ground, but it pretty much includes every from millipedes to your spiders, ants, and roaches product. What we do is we do an initial service. We come in your home, we go through the outlets, and we do a nice dust in all of them, which is a great preventative. On the interior, we come in once a year, and then we can maintain it on the outside, where we come in and make sure, we come up, prepare the outside by taking care of taking the webs off the house, go around and dust your exteriors to prepare it for our pest control product. and then we'll treat the exterior of the home for all your wasps, hornets, bees, whatever you can imagine bug wise. We'll take care of that. We come out quarterly. That's about $93 a month. All bugs are included, including fleas.
Awesome. That's a great offer. And then a lot of your products are green. They're non-chemical, or they're green technologies.
Right. Well, another thing what we do is it has no harm to you, to people, or pests. No harm. And it's actually good for your plants as well, because bugs will feed on your plants, and if there's less bugs, there's going to be less damage from a bug that may feed on the plant. So it does that. And what we do is all our products are green, right? And they're good for the environment. Where we put the product, you as the human being and your pet as your pet, dogs mainly, right? Mm-hmm. They never come in contact with the pest control at all, no matter if it's green or organic, and we use a multiple of types of different products that are super environmentally friendly, and you don't have to worry about coming into contact with them at all.
Yeah, it's important as well. A lot of people try to DIY, try to do it yourself in real estate and their wills. They'll go online and pull up one of those websites and start putting together their own estate planning documents. And there's a lot of people that DIY, they do it yourself. But when you look at, Dan, with the pest control world, people can make some big mistakes. I remember there was a story. There was a home that was built on not on a slab, but it had crawl space, and they just sprinkled some of the pellets underneath, some of the stuff. They just said, we'll just sprinkle some of this under there. Well, it rained, and then the offset of the gas came through the floors, and it killed people in the family, in the household.
Well, we're always going to hear crazy stories, right? Because some people, I see stuff with during this where people DIY electrical work. That's one of the most dangerous things I see crawling through attics at times. One of the biggest things that I see out there, and this is something that if I'm doing a lot of termites inspections, as the owner of Prohealth Pest Control for many years, I do less and less every year, but still do them, by the way, is people that put rat poison in their attic. And then you go up there and there's dead rats all over the place.
Right.
And they never, hiring a professional to pull the rats out in traps and then seal up around their houses. And guess what? That's exactly where we sell most of our insulation that we actually go out and bid for a customer. Is you want to talk about trying to save a couple bucks? Well, when we have to go in and suck out all the insulation, which isn't as expensive as you might think, and then we do a lot of the jobs we do is we suck out all the insulation and get rid of all the rats upstairs, in your attic, and then we blow in more insulation. But yeah, a lot of our customers though, and is one of those things that's where they're like, they don't even want to know.
Right.
It's good for it's good for the people and pets. Okay, Dan, just okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. You don't get any of it around me or my things. That's right. No, you don't have to teach me how to do it. And then some people are super interested and they want to know every single detail about it. Either way, we'll explain it all to you, and you can cut us off at any time. But $93 for us to come out and treat an entire home, it's a very reasonable price. And if you add up all the equipment we have and stuff like that, it's not too bad to make sure, and including and we see a lot of times we see people trying to take care of it in this house. They just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
They just don't. Whether they die or not, no, probably not. But we see a lot of mistakes out there. They don't use the product properly, and they don't put it in the right places. So.
Yep, that's good stuff. All right, Dan Menikheim, appreciate you joining us on the show. Prohealth Pest Control. Check him out online. It's prohealthpestcontrol.com, Dan?
Yep.
ProHealthPestControl.com. Check them out online. Longtime friend of the program. Support the local economy by supporting this show and all of our partners and sponsors. We greatly appreciate that. Dan, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah. Have a great one.
You too. All right, coming up, we got Brian Gordon, Tactical Society on the Consumer Quarterback Show, plus our feel-good story of the day. Clearwater Marine Aquarium celebrates 10-year anniversary of Dolphin Tale. It kind of hits close to home because we've got some developments in our movie that we're producing. Former CEO of the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, David Yates, is also a producer on our movie with Captain Will Smith, Falling from the Sky. So good stuff coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Got some hot listings here. I'll let tell you about property that we've got here at 13335 County Line Road. This is a great opportunity in Tampa Bay. Commercial development deal close to the Veterans Expressway in Spring Hill. So it's literally about a mile from the major intersections there. 5 acres. We got professional photography coming soon on this if you're watching our live stream or our TV show on Apple TV, Amazon, or Roku, next to the Villages of Avalon at Publix Shopping Plaza. This is about a 5-acre parcel of land. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. $799,000 listing. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, every day we'd like to tell you something good. We got a feel-good story for you.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is Dolphin Tale, the movie that made the Winter the Dolphin famous, is now turning 10. So pretty cool right here in Tampa Bay. The film turns 10 in September. The movie made Winter the Dolphin famous, and she's still attracting visitors to Clearwater Marine Aquarium. More movie props are on display throughout September, and CMA is screening the movie at its sequel. So they had Dolphin Tale 2. That was the sequel as well. And it was a pretty cool story of how the dolphin got its tail caught in a crab trap, and then how they the caregivers put a prosthetic on it, and pretty neat story. And it had some great actors in it. I think it had Morgan Freeman, Harry Connick Jr. But what's pretty cool, kind of hitting close to home, is that it's really neat to see David Yates. He's the former CEO of the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. He is now on our project. Captain Will Smith, who you've heard on the program before. I'm working to help him create the movie. I'm producing a movie that's helping him take his book, Falling from the Sky, to the big screen and potentially, streaming at home soon, or maybe in a theater near you. But really cool. And the big thing is we wanted to have community impact, and so that's going to help Tampa Bay and bringing some more income dollars to the local community here in Tampa Bay and in Florida. And there's tax credits involved and all that good stuff. But we are looking for investors as well. So if you know anybody out there that would love to invest in the movie that we're creating, Falling from the Sky, really cool story, has a great kind of like we know the justice system in a lot of cases is raw, man. Some people get a raw deal in the courtroom. Captain Will Smith got a raw deal. So we're kind of shedding light on that. Plus, he's got a whole back end to it where we're going into prison systems, and he's going to be encouraging the prisoners coming out of the system to reduce the recidivism rate. And there's some really great stuff going on with Falling from the Sky. Check it out online. Follow us online as well at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page out there, as well as Brandon Rhymes Realty on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate it if you simply pull out your smartphone and subscribe to our YouTube channels. Will help us get that much closer to monetization. So we appreciate that. All right, we got our friend Brian Gordon back in studio. Tactical Society Gear and Security. Welcome in.
Hey, thank you, B. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Yeah. Good stuff. What's new in your world?
Oh, man. We got a lot going on. Just recently partnered with Fitness 360 out in West Chase.
Okay. Yeah.
Local gym over there, and we got this project called Guns and Gains.
Okay.
Which is where we tactical. We do the 2-hour concealed weapon permit
Cool.
instruction, and then after my course, we go down to the gym and do 1 hour of boot camp fitness.
Cool.
So we combine them both, and we're looking forward to doing our first event on the 18th of this month.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice, man. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you're former military as well. I forgot, was it Marine?
Marine Corps, baby.
Nice. All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for your service. A lot of, we love the veterans around here. We love the veterans on our show, and with the real estate business, we offer discounts for veterans and first responders as well, and all that good stuff, man. So pretty crazy scene in the news now. I know it's kind of talked about so much, but the Afghanistan. Any comments on that?
Oh man, I mean, I have my heart's always going to be to those service members, men and women, that serve overseas, because I made a lot of good friends and a lot of great experiences while being in the Marine Corps. So our motto was never, no man left behind. Right. So it's just a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to explain that. And in my opinion, that shouldn't have happened.
There's
no excuses for that.
Yeah, they left Bagram Air Force Base way too early, right?
Yeah, just bad planning, bad execution.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because you look at different presidencies and how things were handed out and how things happened, and the number of casualties and things of that nature. You see all that stuff, of course, but a lot of it, from what I understand, is it deals with the rules of engagement.
Right. We can always talk politics with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just being a Marine ground pounder, it's just, hey, listen, we all come over there and we're all expected to come back, even though, we know that's not always the situation.
Right.
But we just don't. There's never a plan to leave somebody behind. So at the end of the day, that should have been handled a lot better than what it was.
Yeah. And then leaving all that equipment behind, unbelievable.
Right. So
millions or billions of dollars, whatever it was, they argue about if it was 85 billion or however many billions, whatever. We left a lot of helicopters, rifles, the protection equipment. So personal decision too. Like I said, hey Brian, I want to get some vests, man.
Right.
Get me some safety vest, and looking at the gas mask. I mean, I don't want to sound like the crazy preppers, but hey, man, stuff's going on. It's pretty crazy, and I'm gonna protect my family.
Right.
You can bet that.
That's right, man. And you know what? Also on the flip side of that, B, I think about when we're having problems funding stuff that we really need over here.
Exactly.
Education, healthcare. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
And we got $85 billion of stuff laying over there.
Yep.
I just it's common sense, numbers wise. That we could have used those monies way better than what
trillions spent over 20 years over there. Like it was I get it. Let's have an embassy over there. Let's go in and let's kind of control some things. Let's have a base close to the South China Sea with what China's doing now in Taiwan. Like the strategic strategy, but it just feels like there's just a lot of craziness going on. But if you just joined us, we're talking with Brian Gordon here. He's a local business owner, local company right here in Tampa Bay. Tactical Society is his brand. He offers gear, and he also offers security if you're having an event, if you're utilizing security in any manner. Let's talk a little bit about what you sell and the different service lines you have.
Yeah, so we do personal and asset protective services, tactical gear and supply, like you said, concealed weapon permitting, advanced firearm training, home and business security consultations, and business strategies and solutions.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we have a mutual friend introduced us, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. What a great guy.
Oh, man, he's awesome. TK, as I call him. TK was actually the first person to give me the opportunity to sell some of my gear inside his store.
Nice.
And also being he's also a competitor.
Yep.
Right. Giving me the opportunity to make, to start my business. So I think that was great of him, and I appreciate those guys and girls over there.
Yeah, speaks volumes about his character and how he networks with people. And, I think more and more people, if we just realize it's an abundance mentality, there's abundance of wealth. There's, it's out there, and you just have to come up with a strategy and set up your strategic partnerships and, believe in it, have an action plan, and then follow through.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So specifically, what kind of equipment can people buy from you? Like, I know the vest is one thing that I'm getting from you.
The vests are hot right now, man.
Yeah.
It's almost, it's to the point now when they come in, they're already sold.
These are level 3, level 4.
Level 3s, level 4s. Level 3s are going to be basically the vest that, prevent the handgun rounds.
Yep.
Level 4 is going to be pretty much, everything, the handgun rounds and the rifle rounds.
Right.
And man, and I do have some ARs. That's a new thing. Forgot to tell you about that, B.
Mm-hmm.
Recently got approval from to get my FFL, so that gives me the ability to sell firearms.
Cool.
So been working on some AR line that I've been working on for a while, and probably the next couple of weeks that should pop off. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to selling some of those, my own AR line.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to concealed permitting, what are some of the major misnomers or common misnomers that people have?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing is a lot of people don't realize what comes with taking the concealed weapon permitting. So, one of the big things that is once you get your concealed weapon permit, you don't have to wait for the in Hillsborough County, I believe it's 5 business days before you can pick up your firearm when you purchase it.
Yeah.
Pasco, I think it's 3 days, 3-day waiting period. So if you have that carry license, you can actually go to the gun store, buy your gun, and actually walk out of the store with it. So that's a huge advantage, right? Also, is just being able to carry it on your person. You know, you don't need your concealed weapon permit to have a gun, true, but you do need that concealed weapon permit to carry it on you when you're out here in public. Yeah,
and you can carry it in your license, in your glove box in your car, for example.
Yeah.
There's this old thing like the 3-step rule or whatever. That's bogus, right?
Right. I mean, you can have it in your car, you can have it in your home, right?
Yep.
But it's called concealed carry, right? Which means to be able to legally carry that gun, that firearm on you, you need to be able to take that course with a licensed instructor.
Yeah. The Second Amendment's under attack right now, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's been that way for quite some time, and just recently with Biden with the banning the AK-47 rounds.
Yeah.
From
Russia.
From Russia. It just seems like every time I cut on the TV, man, there's more and more restriction on our Second Amendment rights.
And Thomas was mentioning too, if you have a pistol and you have a handle on it or something like that, or an extension.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
It's they're just putting more and more regulations on firearms, what you can and what you cannot have, and it's more what you can't have.
Yeah. And they're going to, of course, say, hey, you got to buy a permit for this, got to get a permit for that, and then who knows where this whole vaccine thing's going with permits with vaccines. But yeah, man, we're almost out of time. Where do you want people to follow you at?
OTSNation.com. That's OTSNation.com. Please remember, man, protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your business. What's your life worth?
That's right. Yeah. All right, good stuff. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers, our producers out there, everybody helping us with the program. We greatly appreciate it. Dr. Harold Shinitzky kicked us off here, and we had Dan Manikheim, of course, and Brian Gordon, Tactical Society, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community, and we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.